Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. Yesterday's bullish signal from the market led to further buying today. We're taking a look at the OEX, which is the SP500 index that is getting close to breaking to new all-time highs. We have the QQQ, which already broke from kind of what I'm seeing in my chart. So very little correction here. A few down days in here. Yesterday's buying closed towards the high, and it led to a gap up higher with the push towards 539 in the NASDAQ composite. I mean, actually in the Qs. So very interesting and strong price section in here, coming again after yesterday's strong candle. The question is, and we'll take a look at the Elliott wave, is this coming up into a fifth wave? We have to be very careful and not to assume that right away. We're taking a look at 59.50 level, the low of yesterday's bar, as providing invalidation of this breakout. And if we do break below 59.50, we're going to expect a much larger correction. Until that happens, I think this trend remains focused for the upside, and long positions are preferred. So you can see, even if we go and take a look at the NASDAQ composite on the distribution chart, it's the same story. If we take a look at the NYSE, this one broke nicely as well up here at about 20,217. If we look at the S&P, based off the reaction from the 20-day, from that 59.50 level, here we are coming up at about 6,092, very close to new all-time highs, which will probably get taken out. RSI is not doing anything wrong. It just held just slightly above 50, and it continues to point to further uptrend. So things are looking fairly decent from the market here. After a very short correction for a few days, he was pointing that it was going to break lower. That hasn't happened, which sends us now back to the upside. SOX, semiconductors, another pretty strong break higher. I think AMD was the one that kind of pushed this. Nvidia looking good as well. RSI just in trending territory, not providing any serious divergence, just continuing to look fairly strong. It seems that we are kind of attacking these highs and very likely, maybe a bit of resistance there, and a little bit of fighting, but I think they're going to get taken out, and the market should have further advancement. So I'll jump over to Elliott Wave, but before I do that, let's take a look at Bitcoin, which yesterday's move very strong. I talked about it a little bit, and I want to see how we close today. I was expecting a bit more upside in here. I don't think this uptrend is too clearly violated just yet. This uptrend, this kind of downtrending line, I meant right there, and that's still working itself out a little bit. I would still consider the low of this candle as a full defense for any long positions, but again, pending of failure below that low, this one here suggests further upside after a nice three-way setback, and we'll take a look at the IBIT here in a second. So this is just a quick run over our kind of technical charts, technical picture here, how the price action looks on a day-by-day basis. Now let's jump over to take a look at the Elliott wave structures, where the S&P here on the kind of longer weekly time frame, we're basically continuing to progress towards a top of this, some type of final move in this wave one. Will it be right at the all-time highs? Will it be a little bit higher? It might be, it might be, it could be something like this back here, where you're basically continuing to go. So nobody really knows if we're going to actually get it, how deep this wave two will be. But we haven't gotten anything proper but the first move of the lows. So the idea is that after this wave 2 resumes, we will continue to climb towards the top of this channel in a larger wave 3. So how do we look here at the shorter time frames? As a wave, I had this subdivision here as part of this larger wave 3, possible wave 5, but I don't see any clear divergence in here to tell me that that there is a wave 5 in progress. So we got to be, again, kind of extremely careful. I would definitely watch, as I said into the beginning, the low of 59.43 right there. If we lose that, then I think we will be in some kind of a corrective move, maybe even back towards 57.67, and we'll see if that's actually a wave 2 or just another wave 4. But for right now, the market is breaking up, and there is no reason to really argue with that. Let me just fix this wave 2, which pulled back very nicely into the 61.8, this retracement. So that's kind of the idea on the S&P. Now, we also had pretty decent moves, and I'll come back to the Elliott Wave, but we also had pretty decent moves in here in a Dow Jones. You can see, you're back above the 200-day moving average. Pretty good volume. We're breaking up. Look at beautiful RSI. It sits at 50, just kind of holding those pullbacks, which is what you want to see in uptrend. So, not really getting violated or these lows here developing. So, we got to look up now. It's just the way the market is telling us. So we have to see in here. But Dow, has quite a bit of run to do, which it's delayed. I think there were 4 new all-time highs in the Dow today, or 4 new 52-week highs, I think. And you can see it in the price section. Then the other market, IWM, it's another one that starts to get interesting once again after yesterday's signal. We still got to break above the 200, but this market has been suffering for a long time, and let's jump and take a look at the Elliott Wave on that, because that's interesting. So going through the Russell, that's the idea. Talked about it in a few videos here, but ABC wave 1 of the lows, a little bit of a wave 2 pullback. If it's happening right now, it might take a little while, just like in the S&P, but it should be up and running, especially if we're able to kind of get back above that high back there, 23.26. But things look very nice right now, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger here so we can see a little bit of those subdivisions. Here we go. I think this is a little bit of the tricky part, if this is a wave 2 or this is still developing, and I don't really care for it much. All I know is that if we start to lose the low here at 2088, then we're basically got to look back at 2000, and then I would probably put a wave 1 top there and look for a pullback. But for right now, I think this this makes sense, even as a 1-2 in here, because you can have a very short second wave, and this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's tricky in here. It's tricky, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, just worrying about it. Just kind of watching the price action, kind of how we're closing up, looking at these signals, breaking above the 200-day, and then, stay on the bullish side as much as possible with IWM. And then just a quick look here at the Dow. Let me see if I have updated that count in the Dow. No, not yet. But it looks sort of similar. We all want to think that this is a larger third wave in here, 1, 2, 3. And then, what is this? A small 4, then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, listen, the moment you're back above the B wave of an ABC correction, chances are very likely that you're going to go to new highs. And that's the idea, right? Now, there's a lot of ways to get there, and the wave counts are never perfect, but that's the targets in Dow Jones, new all-time highs right there. And then I'm going to close off with a look at IBIT here, and look at that, 1, 2, 1, 2. We had that nice ABC. I think I showed it yesterday on Bitcoin, but it's just a beautiful three-way setback. I would love for IBIT to break above 62.76. Once it does, it can unleash the next wave of buying to continue to go, and then that's the call. Because this is the biggest correction of this entire move, so it cannot be a wave 4. It's got to be a wave 2. And I think once it breaks, per my rules, once it breaks 62.76, that tells me that wave 2 has a higher chance of completion, and it should continue to go much higher now in the next sequence in here, part of this wave 3, which could unfold again very easily as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to decompose this as a quick impulse, and it's probably going to be something like that, right? Where you break up in a wave 1, you come back, retest the breakout zone, and then you continue to go. So I will leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.